Hey guys, hello and welcome to today's live session. I will be hosting this live session along with Diksha, who is a member of Plufo. I am hoping for her to come live so I can add her in. Today we are going to talk about how child behavior has changed during the pandemic. Hi Diksha, how are you?
I'm doing great, Prisha. How are you? Very good evening.
Thank you so much. Very good evening to you too. So, friends, today we gathered here to talk about child behavior that has changed during the pandemic and how it is affecting the life of parents as well as children, and how education and learning as such has completely, you know, it's become completely different. But before that, I would love for Diksha to introduce herself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Deeksha. So I am an education expert with Plufo. It's an online educational technology where we offer classes for students where they can take in classes with us, according to their convenience. So this is what we do.
Great.
Am I
And all
audible,
of you
Prisha?
already, yes, you're very clearly audible. So, Diksha, people have started joining in, so I think it's a very good idea to just, start with the topic. So, Diksha, since you're a teaching expert with Plufo, I would love to know more about Plufo, but a little later. But the first question that I have, that as a teacher, as a learning expert, how do you think and how do you see the changes have happened in the learning system for children, and how the pandemic has actually changed the lives of children and parents altogether?
Drastically. I would love to use this word because, the COVID-19 outbreak kind of exacerbated the entire learning procedure itself for students. They didn't know what is online learning. And, all of us were at stake
Right,
that, okay, this has happened. How is education even going to move ahead? And
right,
definitely because uh, I don't know, I would stand with parents, my sympathy, like, when they felt that uh, the children don't have their play dates, they're not going to the conventional school, they're not meeting their friends, they don't have socializing only, basically. So that time what happens, this regressive behavior and all of that starts of children. Skills that they already knew, that they had mastered, they tend to forget that itself. So this definitely,
right.
it comes along like anxiety, and just give me a second, just one second, Prisha, I'll just be back.
Sure. Some people have human children and some people have pet children, and I think the pet children are yearning for their parent. So anyway, Diksha has been telling us that she used the word
Sorry,
drastically, which I think is
he just started screaming. I don't know what. So I just had to pick him
no,
up.
no. Babies don't like to be left alone, so bring them in.
Totally, totally. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll get back. So that's definitely what was happening with parents and also we as teachers. So initially, when we started,
Mm-hmm.
this is what happened. Children were not ready to
Mm.
open up. They were feeling like, I don't know where I am. I'm in a new place. Who's this new person I'm seeing on screen? So it was a
Yes,
totally different thing.
that's exactly what
Exactly.
happened. The school that my children are in, they assign teachers
Mm-hmm.
for two batches at the same time. As in,
Okay.
first and second standard, the same teacher would continue. Third and fourth standard, the same teacher would continue. So when my children, my twin boys, when they were moving sections, the classes. So 1 year it continued because it was in the even number. The class was in the even number. And then when
Uh-huh.
they stepped from the second standard to the third, the teacher was new. There were a lot of new admissions. A lot of children had left school, among which some of them were very good friends of my children. So there's no meeting with humans. It's just a little picture in the screen. And honestly, I mean, even as adults, we are not very okay with that kind of a concept. And I'm very sure that for the kids also, it's been a very complicated process overall.
Totally. But yeah, now that it's been a little more longer than what we expected, children
Right.
now it's becoming like they want online classes. They don't want to get back to school. They are like, Mama, this is fine. No, they are at the comfort of their home and they have their parents around them and they love their teachers. So they feel this
And
is
they can
much
eat
more.
whenever they want.
Exactly. They can exactly eat whenever they want. Ask me about it.
So we had to eat, while the teachers were looking dead at us, and we would be like, and these kids are like, camera off, karo, and just start cough, cough, cough.
So the minute the camera goes off, we know they are not in place or they are hogging something. It's either of the
Right.
two.
True. So, do you think there is a set of advantages as well as disadvantages to this online schooling system? Or do you think it's a better idea that children go back to school? I mean, what's your perspective on this?
I would say there are really a lot of advantages when we look at online learning because time management is one.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time is saved. The traveling time is saved for them. And they have this attendance. It's easier attendance for teachers as well as for the students itself. Even if they have something at home, they can just join online class and they can, simultaneously, they can multitask. They will learn to become multitaskers.
Right.
That is totally there. And apart from that, I would say they have more easy access to everything. They will become more tech savvy at a very young age. That's also there.
Oh my God, talk about it.
Now, children know more than us. When sometimes
oh my God,
share
yes.
my screen, yeah, they'll be like, Mom, I think you have not turned on that option. You've not turned on this option. Try that. That might work. And I will go like,
okay, this is possible.
You guys know a lot more than we do.
Right.
How it works. And when we look at the distance, obviously, when there are perks to something and there are pros, there are definitely cons as well. Cons, I would like to see 40 minutes, they might lose a little concentration here and there. They might become restless because they are at their home. Now, the minute they see something happening, they just want to get up and go because that's their home. They're comfortable there. So concentration might be a little shaky if the classes are not organized in a nice way. If the 40 minutes is not utilized well. See, there is a division of class as well in online classes. We at Plufo follow that.
Right.
We have, minutes of recap, and then we have 10 minutes of some activities of what we've done in the previous class. Then 25 minutes is what we hold for the core. And then they understand that, and then we do games on that, and then we send in assignments. So this is the division of a class. Probably that is when they might feel like, okay, they are interested. If it's the same monotonous 40 minutes where they have to constantly go on reading and writing, I think 20 minutes is the time. After 20 minutes, they're like...
I'm sorry, Diksha. I might have to interrupt you a little bit. One of my followers, Asmi, is asking, I'm sure she's familiar with the concept of Plufo already, and she's asking if any offers are going on for registration and purchase.
Yes, so you will get 20% off if you register using your code, and you for 6 months and 12 months. So you can simply go on the Plufo website and there's a link there. Just go in there and you can register. So that is how it works.
Right. The code, I have the code. The code is PLI 20.
Yes.
That's Prisha Lalwani, interesting at 20.
Good one.
Guys, you can also use a demo class for which I will leave a link in my bio. So you can click there and you can register and request for a demo class as well.
Yes.
So you were telling us more about Plufo. Diksha, one of the things that I struggle with, of course, it's children sitting for that entire 30-40 minute of class and giving any kind of concentration or attention or even sitting in their spot for a certain period of time seems like a mega challenge for me, for my kids. So how do you think Plufo is combating all of these problems that parents are facing in terms of having children attend school from home?
The first brownie point for me about Plufo is these are live sessions and they are not pre-recorded. So you know at the tip of your finger what each of your child is doing. And the most point here is the ratio, the student-teacher ratio. It's just 1:5 or 1:10. So for one teacher, you'll have 9 or 10 children maximum.
Okay.
So what happens is, the teacher can, the personal connect they have is more than a student and teacher. It becomes like a comfort space that they want to come and they want to learn. So I would say this is something really great about us. And also, we segment our lecture as how I told you. We see for each level. Now, in a group of 5 children, I really can't say that all the 5 are at the same level. Okay, there's one whose IQ is extremely big. It's extremely to a very large extent. One is a little on the mediocre level. So we make sure we make lesson plans according to their levels. So if there's a same lesson, now you take verbs. So how that verbs is taught and what are the activities this child gets, we again work on that. So that becomes very important. Otherwise, all the 5 will just go, if the teacher, doesn't differentiate between the levels of the child, the one who needs a little more attention will just be lost. So that's why I feel Plufo tends to achieve what they had actually visioned. I'm so proud. Yeah.
Right. So, Diksha, when normal school was going on, often I used to feel that after the summer vacation is over, or after Diwali is over, or after the winter vacation is over, again the entire cycle of getting up, going into a routine, and starting school. That was it. You had to really push the child, and somewhere I am very sure we have to push ourselves also. Now you have to get up and you have to start sending the kids to school. So, how do you think what would happen when this thing, when going to school starts again on a full-fledged thing? Right now, 1 or 2 students are going in every class. Most of the parents are still choosing to not send their children to school. But what do you think will happen when this becomes a regular, when we go back to the actual normal?
Like I said, they are so used to being at home, no? So now when you tell them you want to go to school, they'll be like, no, they don't want to go to school. Definitely, the parents will face a lot of challenges, okay? You will have your child doing tantrums and they have a lot of anxiety. They don't want to go and mingle and socialize. But all this has to begin from home. So, you have to be very calm. You've got to be extremely proactive and patient with them. Okay? Then you got to make a routine. So now you're going to school, finish it, you're coming back. See, this is your routine. You can't escape from this. Okay, and then, you check in on their daily activities and you have to keep your behavior in control. Probably all this will impact them. They say, no, children kind of emulate and imitate what their caregivers do. So it starts from you. So first you have to calm yourself and then take it to your children.
One of my fans has another question.
Yeah.
Sorry, please continue.
Yes.
No, please continue. I think you were saying something.
Yeah, a lot of parents are still not opting to send their children to the conventional school because they feel that a lot of our parents, okay, I would take the example that they say that Plufo, they're very happy with how they're progressing, how their assignments are going. So I think, let them be here for a while. Even if school starts, they say that they want to take up a class that's after school. So we have something called after hours also, 5 to 7. So they can opt for that as well.
So this after hours. So I'm sorry, Diksha, but I've heard of Plufo and I read about it, but I would love to know a little more in depth. What kind of subjects you have, and I read that you follow the CBSE format for children who start going to school up till class 8th. And you also mentioned that there's an excellent, beyond excellent teacher-student ratio of 1:10. So one teacher for 10 children only.
1:10, 5 as well. So we have 1:5.
Oh, you have 1:5 as well.
5 as well.
Wow,
yeah.
that's amazing. But is this like a substitute for schooling, or is this like in addition to? Is this like a coaching class, or just elaborate more about Plufo? Tell us more.
So yeah, as we came are your 4 core. Along with your core subjects, you have a lot of extracurricular. I think your internet is okay. Is it mine or is it yours?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, there's a little shaky behavior. So I was just asking that if you could elaborate on what Plufo exactly is and how does it fit into a child's life. I think it would be very helpful for us all.
Exactly. So we cater from nursery to grade 8 here, Prisha, where we follow the CBSE curriculum, and we have the core subjects that your math, English, science, and your Hindi. So these are the 4 core that we offer. Along with this, we also have extracurricular activities like the public speaking, dance, and we have visual arts as well. So, it shouldn't become monotonous, right? Children to just take in the core subjects. So we've added a lot of extracurricular activities here. So along with this, when I mentioned socializing in school, I think that, okay, in school my child will socialize, but how about online classes? So I'm so proud. Like we have activities here, we celebrate annual day, we have Children's Day, we just celebrated Children's Day. And, we have every Saturdays, we decide on a theme or a topic. And we ask all the students of Plufo, we send in circulars to parents where they can enroll for that activity, for that Saturday activity. So where a lot of children will meet. So this socializing happens as well. Over here.
So is this...
We have a parents-teacher meeting. We have the parents-teacher meeting monthly where parents can keep a track of what is happening. We send in weekly reports. So 3 days. So we have batches here. Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So these are the 3 batches. So you have 3 classes in a week per subject, and as a parent, you just get to know what your ward is doing because we send in the weekly report card. Even though there's just classes, we make sure that they know what have they done in these 3 classes.
Right. So again, coming back.
Tell me.
Oh, sorry, what? No. Let's continue and then I'll come to my question.
Pod. Pod is nothing but where the teacher and the student talks. Apart from the classes, what happens? So the teacher meets the student in class. But apart from that also, every month they have a pod meeting, that is the teacher and the student, where the student can raise in concerns where he or she will not be able to address in class.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yes, so we have that as well. Because there are some children who probably feel like, okay, I just can't say this in class. I think my doubt's a little weird.
Right.
Because a lot of children face that.
I know I used to be one of those children who had a lot of questions. So a child like mine or a child like me would be so happy to have this one-on-one session with the teacher. I think it helps bond better and understand things better too.
A lot. So then we make a report on it and we feel like, okay, she or he is not fitting into this. Why? And then we work it. So there are with Plufo here. So I think it's a boon to parents.
Yes, true.
Not just because I work there, but definitely I have my cousins, I have my niece and nephews who study here as well. So I know when I hear from my cousins, they say it's amazing. So...
Right. So again, circling back to the main question that I have, is Plufo a substitute for a school? So you can register out of school and then you can register in Plufo for the time that the pandemic is going on, or it is more like a coaching class?
Okay. So I wouldn't say substitute. We have school as well. And now we have something called after school classes. That is from 5 to 7 p.m. So some parents who are willing to send their children to school, they come in, they came in to us and they told us that, the school timings are there, but we still want to continue with y'all. That is when we came up with this 5 to 7. So that time the children can relax for an hour and then take up the after school hours, after school classes, which they can easily take up. So this kind of works.
Right. Yeah. So if I understand this right, this is also an online school and also an assisting study program.
Right? Yes. So we have something called Plufo School. I mentioned the 1:10 batch for you, right?
Right. Yes.
That is called the bundle course program. So what is bundle courses? One child gets all the 4 core subjects along with the extracurriculars. So all the
Extracurricular
core,
activities.
you will have three periods in the week, and the extracurricular, you'll have one period per week. So this is like a school.
Right.
It's like a time. You guys have a timetable. Now this 11 o'clock, 11
Right.
a.m. is this, 12 is this. Then I have a break.
Hmm.
Then I come back.
Hmm.
So this is Plufo school. So we have this as well.
Right.
And there are children who just opt for 1 or 2 classes with us, and yeah, and like, just extracurriculars. So lot of varied options.
I certainly find this very interesting. And here I would open the forum, the live session for questions, more questions from my audience. Some of them have been very active, and hopefully we've answered all their questions. I'm just checking.
Yes.
So if anyone else has a question, please drop it here in the chat section so I can, discuss it right here. I think we have covered all the questions that have come in so far.
We just spoke everything about it.
I'm certainly very happy listening to the 1:10, 1:5 ratio, because I know for sure that any child would do a lot better if teachers today would have less pressure of students, because the moment the teacher shoots a question or an observation, everybody goes, ma'am. I understand it's a lot to handle for the students as well as for the teacher. But the current setup, the current situation is such that none of us are in a capacity to change it too much right now. So I definitely think that Plufo is a great idea for students and teachers who want to bond in a different way, not the conventional online school thing. So thank you so much, Diksha, for introducing all of this to us. If there's anything you would like to add.
Yeah, I think I covered pretty much everything. Would just like to say that we have something like, the demo class also. So before you enroll your child,
Right.
if you want to see how these classes work or how one teacher is, because here we have a set of 150 teachers and we have trainings here. It's not that, they do 1 month training when we join and then boom, it's over. Now you're on to you. You do what you want to do. No, we have trainings here sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly, that how we are progressing, what we are doing with our set of children. So a lot of effort is into building this, and I feel parents should definitely go up, look up the website, take a demo class for your child, and let your child decide that whether it works for them. So I would like to end
I would like to reiterate that anyone can use the code PLI20, which is Prisha Lalwani Interesting 20, for a 20% discount on the 6-month and for a 20% discount on the 6-month and 12-month subscription. Before you take the subscription, you can check out the demo class. I will leave the link when I post this on IGTV, and I will also leave a link in my bio. And if there are any questions, please do drop them to me and I will have Diksha answer them for you. Thank you so much for joining us, Diksha. Thank you so much for telling us so much about Plufo.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Same here.
My pleasure.
Great evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Great evening. Bye-bye.